Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. This is going to be a good one. We really got to talk. There is some crazy stuff going on. But what else would you expect? What else would you expect here in an environment of fakery, propaganda, misinformation? It's outrageous. Anyway, so Tuesday, March 2nd, 2021. Let me start off with this. I covered this yesterday with regard to that 10-year yield here. Something is going on. The Federal Reserve appears to me to have already begun some type of yield curve control. You don't go from having a 10-year yield all over the place to a flat line. It just doesn't happen unless the Fed has literally instituted yield curve control. At least on a part of the yield curve. Keep that in mind. I want to talk a little more about this. So today, what you and me are going to focus on like a laser is that 10-year yield. For my lions out here, my traders out here, just watch that 10-year yield. If you see today that 10-year yield is again stuck in a flat line or in an extremely tight range, you know for a fact that the Fed has initiated yield curve control. There is no doubt about it. It can't happen. Can't happen. Now let's talk a little further here. So we heard from the Fed yesterday, later on in the day. The Federal Reserve is talking about dusting off an old policy change. How many of you remember Operation Twist? Operation Twist is when the Federal Reserve manipulates the yield curve by buying long-term bonds and selling short-term bonds. Okay, look, never ever before have we seen this. How can we have a free market whatsoever when we have the Federal Reserve, the most powerful central bank on the planet, rigging the debt market beyond the highest order? We do not have a free market. We have a managed market, a market which is being managed to, again, foster a wealth transfer on an epic scale. That's all this is. They reinflated a housing bubble. They reinflated a stock market bubble. And now they're talking about, again, yield curve control, for which I think they've already started. And you got, now they're going to reinstitute Operation Twist. Or they're talking about reinstituting Operation Twist. Look, you all know this, okay? The Federal Reserve has one tool and one tool only. I don't care what comes out of the mouth of freaking Yellowstone. All they do is manipulate and create debt. That's it. You know, Yellowstone can sit there and be questioned by the morons, sub-morons, okay? During his speeches and his talks and his whatever he's got to do, after they praise him and lick his feet, then, Mr. Fed Chairperson, what are you going to do now? I'm going to use all of my tools. Duh! You have one tool, sir, Yellowstone, and that is to manipulate and twist debt. That's it. It's unbelievable, people. Unbelievable. The stuff we're seeing here. And it gets, it gets under my skin a little bit. This is in our face right now. Again, today, me, I'm going to be watching that 10-year yield. If it does not move, if it stays in that flat line like it did yesterday or, moves around just a little bit, we know for a fact that the Fed has initiated yield curve control. There's no way on this planet or off this planet that the 10-year yield can go from this to a freaking near flat line. Can't happen unless the Fed is in here initiating yield curve control. Now, with regard to this new Operation Twist that they're talking about doing, well, again, it's more manipulation of the debt market like you cannot possibly believe. And all this is going to do is hyperinflate a stock market bubble. That's all it's going to do. And hyperinflate a housing bubble. By design, people, you know this. All right, let's move forward. So stock futures right now are slightly in the red. Slightly in the red. Some of this is because Joe Biden is threatening China with regard to the trade deals, which unfortunately President Trump could not get done. Will Biden get it done? I doubt it. Look, this whole thing is a shit show on an epic scale. So anyway, let's move forward. Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies doing really well. Bitcoin is around 49,000. Silver right now is under some pressure. Gold is slightly higher. That's another thing. Keep your eye on the dollar. Let's see what happens with the dollar. Right now, the dollar is about flat, slightly higher. Crude oil is catching a bid. You know how this mechanism works. If you just look, literally, at the 10-year yield, the dollar, and crude oil, I call it the unholy trinity. You watch that unholy trinity right there, you will have a very good idea as to where the stock market is going to go on the back of, paying attention to what the Federal Reserve is doing, what they're talking about. They're not going to stop with their rigging of the debt market. And the fact that we have a debt market that could not possibly be more rigged than it is right now, and it's going to be, there's no doubt about it, allows us to understand what their end game is, what they're trying to pull off here, so we can capitalize on it. People, I'm going to say it again, just in case you didn't hear me for the gazillionth time. The Fed is going to inflate on a scale that you have no idea. They're already doing it. Look at their balance sheet. It's gone super beyond parabolic. Beyond parabolic. And that mechanism is not going to stop. It's going to increase. Okay, so understanding that they're going to vastly inflate. Again, this is not just the Fed. This is the collective effort of central banks around the world. They're doing the same things in unison because they're all involved in doing the same thing. And that is a global takeover to buy it all. Buy it all. They are the government. Forget freak Biden. Forget freak Trump, Obama freak, whoever freak you want to talk about. The shit show, the freak show, it's not real. It's the banks. They're dictating the rules. They're enforcing their grand plan, their final solution to be the lenders and buyers of last resort. People, wake up. If you're new here, I hope you are understanding what you're actually seeing. Period. The end. This is it. This is it. I don't know another way to put it. Anyway, so you know what to do. I got this covered for you from every single possible angle. For my lions out here, you know what to do. For you stackers out here, you know what to do. For your crypto investors, yes. Okay, because I keep getting bombarded. Greg, where's crypto going? Greg, where's crypto going? I believe it's going higher. And I've nailed crypto to the wall with the recent high, the sell-off. You got institutions buying cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin. You got hedge funds buying it, investment banks buying it. You think it's going lower. You do. You listening to people like Dent who's telling you it's going to zero. You gotta be nuts, man. You gotta be out of your mind. I explain this to you. Unless some major regulations are put out against cryptocurrencies, it's going higher. Doesn't that make sense to you? It should make sense to you. In this environment that is so twisted, literally twisted, Operation Twist might be coming back, Federal Reserve. It's incredible. It really, really is. And I'm not surprised. Again, the Fed has one tool. One. And that is the manipulation and issuance of debt. Period. The end. That's all they do. So when you hear Fed Chair Yellowstein or any other stain, you have to understand, all of these Fed presidents, which are not human beings, okay, they are stains upon this earth. And they're just gonna sit here and tell us all, oh, we need more debt. We need more debt. Yeah. You can't make this stuff up. But again, they have a goal. Their goal is to vastly inflate. Their goal is to buy it all. If we know this, it makes what we're doing clear. What we need to do. Bet against this debt. Become your own central bank. Let JP Morgan manipulate the price of gold and silver all they want to. Okay, these are anti-debt units. Physical gold, physical silver, my favorite asset of all time. You know that. And the stock market is in a hyper bubble on an epic scale. And that hyper bubble is going to get even larger if the Fed has indeed begun yield curve control. People, watch that 10-year yield today. We're going to know what's going on. They're not going to tell us. You have to understand that. They're not going to tell us in the mainstream financial channels. They're not going to tell you anything. They're going to tell you, look here. Don't look here. It's a massive distraction. Okay, that's all they do. Propaganda, misinformation. Watch the yield curve. Let's see what the debt market tells us today. And with regard to the Federal Reserve and the new Operation Twist, do you believe that's not going to happen? Of course it is. It is. There's no doubt about it. Anyway, look, I got to stop. I'm getting kind of hyped up here. Look, this guy here loves you a lot. And again, another humongous shout out to those of you who stood up yesterday and decided to support my work. As you know, on the first of every month, I ask you to support my work. I don't think there's a problem with me asking you that. Some people take exception. Why is Greg asking us to support his work? You don't have to support it. I'm just asking you to do it if you want to. Anyway, look, I'm out of here. Thank you again to all of you who chose to do it. Love all of you. Please share the video. Get it out there. Talk about these things. Start blogging about it. Talk about this stuff on your social networks. We are in a freak show shit show that is just only going to get worse. And I've explained this to you for the longest time. Just keep your eyes open, people. If you caught me on Alex Jones yesterday, I kept telling Alex, and I kept telling everyone who was listening, raise your awareness as to what is going on around you. You are a pawn in a game. Understand that. Raise your awareness and other people's awareness, and we're all going to be better off as this thing unfolds around us. All right, look, I got to go. Love you a lot. Please share the video.